everybody. Welcome to my stream. Today we will be coloring out of Serene by Nicholas Filbert, or Nicholas Chandarita as he is known. The cover of the book, it looks like this, if you guys are wondering. So we are coloring this beautiful lady today. I hope everybody's doing well today. And the name of this picture is called Orbit. So we're coloring her today. I hope everybody's doing well. But I want to show you some things that I got beforehand, so all of you guys can see what beautiful things came in the mail. I got this beautiful coloring book, Country House and Garden coloring book. This is Native Lounge. Very much like the newer style of books. I like things like this, houses and things like this to color. So, and they give you 2 copies of each image. So we got one of those. The next one that came in, beautiful dogs coloring book. Yes, they have found the dog coloring book. I finally found the dog coloring book that I can like. I like coloring. They have different breeds and they tell you what they are. Like this one is Pomeranians. Just really, really cute because I like Pomeranians, but I also like Shetland sheepdogs, poodle, Rottweiler, Shih Tzu. I'm sure they have a collie in there somewhere. Because I used to have a small miniature collie, or what we know as Shetland sheepdogs. Then some of you guys saw this the other day, Fantastic Beauties by Demeter Victoria. This is her newest one, with all these beautiful women in it and all these people that you can color. It is grayscale. I think it's a really nice book. Get to have that there. Then I got a new book. Now the new book is Love Letter by Momo Girl. It is a hardcover. It is a Korean coloring book, and it's really nice. But what came with it, she gave me some extras that came with it. So what came with it was these extra pictures, which I really, really like that she gave the seller gave me extra copies to color with this guy. So if you're in the chat, say hello. I know that there's a stream-a-thon on today, so I am aware of that. So here's this lovely book, lovely picture. Then she gave me this other one. Hi, Jen. Jen, you need to send me your mailing address. The books came back to me, so I will be trying to send them again on Tuesday, hopefully after work. So the books came back to me. They got returned to me today, so your 2 books. So I need your mailing address again, if you could send me that. Okay? So then I got this lovely book called Love Letter by Momo Girl. So this is a really interesting book because these are some of the pictures that people have. Thank you, Jen. Came back to me, you know. Then they had this lovely book, which I thought was lovely. There's some lovely pictures in here. Then you go to the couple stuff here. Then you get some coloring. Hi, Alicia. How are you? I'm good. And then you get some stuff here, like which is kind of like a journal or grafting thing. So you get some nice stuff in here. So you can little letters, so things you can use as picture in there. So, and it's on really good paper. Hi, Michelle. How are you? So they have really nice paper in this book. It's really pretty, this book. Like some of these images you've seen in other books too. So you've colored these already. I think I saw somebody do like an awesome job of coloring this. I think it's the. Oh, you're getting this book when you get home tomorrow? It is an extra, and then you see goes coloring. This book has some really nice stuff in it. Like, I just like this book overall. Hi, Kim. How are you? Oh, Miss Shalina's not going to like me very much. Does everybody know what this is? Oh. Oh. Mr. 28 inches. It is 51 by 71 centimeters. This is a big one. This is a round with AB, which means Aurelis Borealis, which is all those. And then I got another little one. Then I got another little diamond painting from Amazon. So this is the way they sent it in its own box and everything, this company. So I think this is from Santa Direct. And they are really nice. So. Yes, I like diamond painting. Well, some of you will know what this is when you see it. This is what it's supposed to look like. I have become a diamond. So, this is a long one. But this comes from a company called Santa Direct. So you know that, yeah, I have a diamond painting addiction, Miss Michelle. And I'm almost done with another paint. I'm like 2/3 done with it. So I just have one more third. Yes, I have a diamond painting addiction. We don't have coloring book addiction, but this is the start of anything. So now we're going to color this. Yeah, I have a very bad diamond painted addiction. Okay. These are Tombow irritants. These are very nice pencils to use. I like using these. This is called Narcissus, and this is going to be my base layer color. I like these because they're pale. Hi, Crystal. And I'll tell you right now, I'm sure it's going to be worth it, Michelle. I'm sure Kim gave you something lovely. The most frustrating thing is waiting for a package. I was actually supposed to get that Chinese book yesterday, that Momo Girl one, and it didn't come yesterday. So I was like, oh, we'll just wait for it to come tomorrow. But it's like nerve-wracking when you know the package is on its way, but it's not here because the mailman, by where I live, no offense to the mailman, I think they do a nice job, but I don't want to be like offensive to them. But sometimes they can be a little like, where are my packages? What have you done with them? I want them now. Like, I'm like, what have you done to my packages? I want them now. We'll use that for later. This takes all pencils well. I will tell you, this book is like a pencil lover's dream. Yes, you will. It's only 2 days, Kim. Only 2 days, Michelle. So that way you guys can see what I'm doing better. Hazel from the Pablos. It's not the end of the world. You know, the other day we had a problem, and I really wanted to do that diamond painting with you up here. But I'm finding that the diamond paintings are a little too hard to do up here. Like, unless they're really, really small, I can do them up here. Like, the partials I can do up here. But I can't do the big ones up here, so I'm going to have to I'm going to have to figure out a way to film downstairs, bring them downstairs. The diamond art clubs are very expensive. Some of them are expensive, and then if you go to their clearance section, one of the things I suggest to people when they go buy diamond art club is if you're going to buy diamond art, check their clearance section out because they have some really nice ones in their clearance section that aren't a lot of money. So that might be an idea for people who don't have a lot of money but want to try a diamond art club kit. The other thing is there's a lot of nice diamond paintings on Amazon that you don't have to, spend a lot. Like, this is one of my favorite books to work on, but it takes time to work on this book. See, the one thing you do if you want to make the colors lighter, you go farther away. It creates lighter strokes. That's a nice book. I like that book. That book is nice. It has a lot of nice pictures in it. That book has a lot of pretty pictures in it. I know, I'm just getting another color out. Sometimes it's hard to, the colors, but you're trying to find them. This is light ochre. This will give you those highlights. Oh, that's a nice book. I just didn't have the time to work in it. Well, every book is going to be different, and every colorist is going to want different things from books. This book is really it's one of the prettiest books that I've ever had the pleasure to work in. Mm-hmm. That's good, Jen. You should, here's a piece of advice. Work on what you want to work on. Take your time working on things because You shouldn't rush things. Some people work fast, some people work slow. Now, I tend to work, I feel like, at a medium speed, but that's my speed, you know? You know, everybody works at a different speed. No two people are going to work on a book the same way. This is English Red. This may be the final color for the hair. That's nice, Michelle. But you know, for me, I don't think that's a book for me personally. It's not that I don't like Johanna Basford's books, which I do love them. You know, not everybody. You know, I just like the books that she draws. I think her drawings are just fantastic. You know who I'd like to see come out with a new book is Daria Song. That's good. You know, it's just not my. It's just not for me. But you know, I'm at the point now, Michelle, where I'm trying. You know, even though I buy books, I'm trying really hard not to buy books unless they're really special. And plus, now I'm diamond painted, so now some of my stuff has changed into different things. Almost you want to. I know a lot of you like that Mystica book. You know, I wasn't expecting my last two, the Mystica book and the Love Letter book to be hardcover, which I'm thoroughly happy that they're hardcover because that makes it so much easier. You know, and I also have been watching some TV on Hulu, like not my wrestling, but it is a really nice book, Jen. You're gonna love it when you get it. I just got my copy in a few days ago, so That's good, but I just don't think it's for me, shall we? I know that there are a lot of people now doing the streamathon. And a big cheers to Miss Kim because she helped me figure out my problem yesterday. If not for her, I would not be on today. Oh, you have to wait till after the... And I did buy another diamond painting from a company called Pretty Creative, but I won't get that product till after February 15th because of the coronavirus. So this is what they told me. Now, Pretty Creative is another company that sells. Hey, Keely, Pretty Creative is another company that I found. It's like what's the other one? Treasure Art Studio. So there are a couple of other places besides Amazon and Diamond Art Club. Thank you. So, what color should we color these flowers? Pink, red, purple, blue. Well, blue's out because I think I'm going to make that blue or orange. I don't think that's an antidote to the coronavirus. That's funny. That is funny. That is funny. That is funny. Oh my, you're all funny. That's funny. That is funny. This is Scarlet. This is a luminous, a luminance pencil. Yeah, red. That way it's a little brighter for you guys. Maybe I can go in one more dot. Better, guys, for you? Bright for you. That, guys, was that just better? Yeah, I turned the bright up on the settings. I can't do anything about the lighting, but I can make the I can make some things a lot better. We could make the roses red and pink. I don't know what we're going to do here on the bottom, but we'll get to the bottom when we get to the bottom. I'm thinking we'll make the top roses red and we'll make the bottom stuff pink. Then we'll figure out what we're doing for the rest of the picture. This is probably going to be at least 2 or 3 streams, maybe 2 streams at the least. I think this is going to be at least a 2-stream project. My mother's thinking about buying herself a computer of her own, which I think, I want my mother to buy herself her own computer, really, because, she shares mine, and then she complains when things don't work the way she wants them, and I'm like, why you complain? This is my computer. I like my computer the way I like it, you know what I mean? I have my computer formatted the way I like it. And I complain when something goes wrong in my computer because usually when she touches something, every time she touches something goes wrong, and then my mother goes, I've done nothing. And then when she first came on, and she would get on, I would have to monitor her because she would be like, why are you monitoring me? I go, every time you and my brother go on the computer, you cause either a virus to get on the computer or something weird, or you go somewhere that you're not supposed to go. And these were the problems that we had with the old computer. And I remember when I bought this computer, I bought this money because I had some Christmas money left over and I had bonus money. So that was how I was able to afford this computer a few years ago. When I bought it a couple of years ago, I haven't even realized that, I called up Apple to fix the problem. They told me I had the computer since 2014. So, I got this about 6 years. So 6 years is a good run on a computer. And this is a Mac. So I'm like, to get a new computer is a big expense. But you get used to things the way they are, and it's like you don't like to change. My mother wants to change everything. That's good, Keely. I don't tell you the honest to God thing that I do not like about the luminance. I like most of the stuff about them, but one of the things that I don't like about them is that they're really hard to sharpen. To find a sharpener that doesn't break, because most sharpeners break on them. And then we'll do the leaves. That's good. I'm almost done with my second diamond picture that I've been doing off camera, but I did it from Amazon. It's not a partial, it's a full. I'm going to have to buy a frame. Then we'll use this as pink. Then we'll do that as orange. Oh, that's hard, Keely, because every pencil is different. It depends on what I'm coloring. Um, like if I'm coloring Jade Summer, the Jade Summer books, I like to color with markers the best. If I'm coloring something like this book is perfect. This book in particular, Keely, this book is really great to experiment with all your pencils. This book is like phenomenal with every pencil I've ever used. Holbeins, Luminance, Faber-Castell, Prismas, Tombows, Strippers, Polys, Artesers. Everything colors phenomenal on this Glibers. The worst pencils I've ever used, I can honest. It's like, come on. You know, the thing is, though, when I bought it, I wasn't live streaming as much. That's the thing. If I get a new computer, I have to have something for myself that's going to suit my needs, you know? And people don't really understand, you know, when you tell people that you want to buy a computer, but you want to buy something that suits your needs, you know, here's the thing. And this was never intended to be the family computer. Well, it's different when you have different needs as your needs change with the computer, you know. The thing is, if I was to get a new computer now, I would need something that was, you know, I would have to tell the guy, what am I going to do with it? Because, you know, my mother basically, all my mother does is she surfs the webs, goes on the internet, prints out what she needs, does tickets, does directions. That's what my mother needs the computer for. And work-related stuff, she used to need it. But now that she's retired, she won't need that stuff as much. But for me, you know, what I use the computer for is live streaming videos. I film videos. So I need software that can edit it on the computer. I need, you know, I need something that's going to handle, you know, my phone stuff, you know, the webcam, everything you get from a web. You know, these are things you have Hi, Nikki. Everybody, welcome Nikki and Niagara, who's really a great, who herself has a great channel in itself. She does color and reviews, flip throughs, and finished pages as well, guys. So she does a lot of nice work on her channel. You know, we are live, we are coloring. There is a streamathon going on right now, Nikki, that I know a lot of people are part of. I am not part of the streamathon, but I know a lot of people like that. But this is my normal time to go on, so I'm doing something very different than they are. Yeah, I know Nikki is fun to watch. I really like her finished pages video. She always gives me ideas on what I end up coloring. Some people ask me, is this book grayscale? I don't think it's grayscale in the traditional sense of grayscale, but maybe a light grayscale. I always smile. I love watching other color tubers videos because it gives me ideas, and sometimes I find new books by watching their channels or books that I think I'll like. Or maybe I'll work in an old book that I haven't worked. And one of the yearly challenges that I have this year is finish those whips, which means any books that you have whips in, let's finish them. Let's not leave them idling around. I have a few Kirby picks that I need to finish. I think for me, streamathons are fun if you're part of them. And even if you're not part of them, they're still fun to watch back. But sometimes you want to do something different. I like to do different things. I don't like to be... So, you know, whips mean work in progress. My challenge this year is to finish all the books. What is this one? Hold on. This is one of my colors. Yeah, that works. Well, here's the thing about this book, Nikki. This is Serene by Nicholas Chandaria or Nicholas Filbert. I say Nicholas Filbert because it's easier to pronounce than his other name, Nicholas C. Chandaria. Yeah, it's a mouthful to say his other name, but he's also known as Nick Filbert. This book alone is probably the most expensive book in my whole collection, Nikki. Besides Fine Color, that Chinese book that took about almost 3 months to get to me. That was excessive, that how long that book took to get to me. But When I got that book is absolutely worth it. I've only finished one picture in it. What is the history lesson about, Alicia? I've also started watching another new show on Hulu, but it comes on Fox every week. But I don't really like to sit back and wait week to week on some shows. You know, I find it hard to do that. So sometimes I'll binge like 3 or 4 episodes. Oh, World War what? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, World War One, World War Two, the French Revolution, the War of 1812, the War of Independence, the French War, the Japanese Imperial War. You know, for me personally, when I get a little bit of a windfall, like let's say a little bit of a tax refund, I make one exception. I say I'm going to buy myself one expensive coloring book from Etsy, and that's it. So when Christmas time came around, I bought 3 books. I actually bought 3 books during Christmas time with my Christmas money, some of my Christmas money, and now all 3 of those books finally arrived, which was the new Momo Girl, that Chinese book, the Masquerade Ball, and the Eerie book. Now, here's what happened with the Eerie book, why I ended up buying it on Etsy rather than Amazon Japan. For whatever reason, I can't seem to get into my Amazon Japan account, and when I do get into it, I can't make a purchase checkout. Why? So I was getting very frustrated, and then my mom goes, see if you can buy it cheap. Get it on Etsy. Now, I bought from a seller on Etsy that I hadn't bought from before. Yes, coffee is an essential part of life. And I don't think I'll be buying as much. There's still stuff that I want to buy. Like I do want to buy the 96 set of Schiffer Farbens. I want them because now there's 96 colors of them. Hello, Selena. How are you? We're calling from Nick Filbert's Serene. The name of this picture is Orbit. This color is called Genuine Cobalt Blue. I'm going to sharpen it a little bit before we actually work with it. Should have sharpened these before I took them out. Thank you, Candy. This is one of the, I think this book, Fine Color, and I forget what the third. And I have another one that was very expensive to buy. What was that? Girls with a Poem? No, what's it? Girls with a Poem. This and Fine Color were my two most expensive coloring books ever that I ever purchased. And you know what? I'm glad I purchased this book because mm-hmm. And see, I'm going white with the thing to make the eye color. You see, this is the color like this, but when I'm light like that, it comes out different. So that's a matter of holding your pencil at a different angle. Took me a long time to learn that. Yes, what are you cooking, Candy? But guys, I will also like to tell you something that has been going on. Me and my mother, what happened is me and my mother, we don't always eat the best. So I started subscribing to this service called HelloFresh. I am using luminance pencils right now. But when we did the hair, we started off the hair with a Tombow Irritant. Then we went to our Caran d'Ache Pablos. Now we're on our Caran d'Ache Luminance. This paper on this book, every pencil, and I'm going to be honest, every pencil in this book, everything lays down beautifully in this book. So me and my mother have been cooking from there and doing the recipes from there. I'm not going to lie, it is pricey. Even with the discount that I got, because when I did it, I subscribed up to a discount. Well, what happens is you pick the menu. When you sign up, if you go through it, you can get a discount. There are discount codes on the web if you know it. And so then you don't pay as much the first few weeks that you're on it. And basically, they give everything to you in a big box when it comes, so it gets delivered in a big box. So when you open up the box, they put all the meals, everything you need to make the meal, in a bag, so you can refrigerate it. So then all the meat is on the bottom of the box, so you have the meat separate from the bags. But other than that, and let me tell you something, they give you step-by-step directions on how to make the meal. And the food is delicious. It comes out delicious. So last night we made Juicy Lucy burgers. Oh my God, the burgers were phenomenally good. I had never tasted burgers like that before in my life. Sorry, guys. Short little point. Yeah. So when you sign up, you tell them how many people you need the meal for because they have family plans of 4. So everything you need to make is in this. And we've made some really interesting menus. Juicy Lucy burgers, a chicken parmesan. I think in certain parts, it can snow. If you're up in the mountains, it can snow. Wait a minute, I thought there were no mountains there, but I could be wrong. Oh, okay. You live in Florida. Okay, you live near Florida. So you see, we're starting to get more people. How does that song go? Ain't no mountain high enough. It's not beautiful for the people who have to clean it up and shovel it. I remember when I lived in Brooklyn and I lived in my grandfather's house. I remember when it shoveled so bad. I was getting so hard and I had to shuffle because there was nobody else to do it. Everybody else had moved on. And since I was the person who did it, and then I had an aunt who was living with us, a long lost relative, let's say, and she didn't do anything to help me. She saw that I was struggling and could have helped me, but she didn't help me. You know, that to me is just the epitome of a selfish person. When you see somebody struggling and you know they're struggling and that they don't have very good, you know, you just it's hard. But you know, sometimes there's certain jobs that I don't want to be sexist here, but there's certain jobs that men are better suited for because of their strength. You know, and I don't want to be sexist, so say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that because that's a man's work. What makes it a man's work? A woman can do the job too, but that's bad for me because then, after I did that, I had to stop because my back was hurting and I couldn't move anymore. And I was in so much pain after I did that for about a good 2 days. And I didn't understand what was happening to my back. And then the doctor told me that I had actually pulled, what is it, the little things in between the lower back, you pulled your vertebrae wrong. I pulled my lower vertebrae and the doctor told me, no more doing that. If you have to, hire someone to do it, the doctor told me. Because my mother was away for a work vacation. This was the dead of winter, so I learned after that, what I did was I hired 2 neighborhood kids to do it because I wouldn't hire one to do it. Because, it's better if you have the work split between. Oh, she loves to shovel something. Just kidding, Michelle. Sometimes you do it because there is nobody else to do it. Either you do it or it doesn't get done. And if it doesn't get done, then it becomes worse when it doesn't get done. In my case, in that time period, there was nobody else. When I'm not a girly girl, I didn't grow up being a girly, I shouldn't say that. My mother tried to get me to be a girly girl. But that wasn't going to happen. I'm more of a person who likes her jeans, her t-shirts. Don't get me wrong, I'll dress up on occasion, but I'm not that type of person who does girly girl things. I like to, don't get me wrong, I like to dress up. I like to put on makeup every once in a while, but there are things that, if it came down to me being in a dress or me being in jeans and pants, I would prefer me being in jeans and pants. But there are some occasions where you have to get dressed up. So you just can't always be girly girl. Sometimes you have to I am sharpening a pencil. And guys. Well, I don't mind getting dolled up, but I do it for fancy occasions and family dinners and family occasions. Now it looks like my mother may only be visiting my brother for a week. My brother got mad at my mother on the phone, and they had my brother has, a distortion of memory and events that didn't happen. But in my brother's mind, he believes these things have happened. So, in my brother's mind, he believes these things to be true, and they're not the truth. They're things that he imagined happened and they didn't happen. These are not real things that happened. I shouldn't be talking about this on camera, but how do you deal with it? Someone who believes things happen when they didn't happen the way that they believe it happened, and in their mind that's the truth, and that's not the truth. My brother's always mad, and then if I say anything, I'm the bad guy. I don't like him. I don't like him talking that way to my mother because I feel like it's disrespectful to talk to my mother like that. How do you deal with someone like that? Now, some people say, well, you can avoid the problem. You can't avoid the problem if they're your family. I mean, you can avoid the problem if they're not your family, but when you're dealing with family, it's different. And they only see things. Salmon pink. They only see things from their point of view. You're wrong. You're stupid. You're lying. That's what happened. No, it's not what happened. You know what, though? My mother tries to handle it, and then it gets bigger. Because you know what happens? My mother lets him do whatever he wants. And I told her, you can't let him do that anymore. Because then he thinks it's okay to do that. That, Michelle. That's not okay. To do that. No, for years I tried to let people handle things, and now there comes a point when you just say, what, I'm tired of being fucking like this all the time. This is not a way to live. Yeah. And then my brother said, well, I don't live with people who cause me drama. Well, that's good and fine, but when you're the cause of the drama, it's different. And then people wonder why I don't want to go see you. No, I love my brother. I really do. But sometimes I'm just like, dealing with family can be, and I love my family. Don't get me wrong. I love my brother too, but sometimes dealing with family can be like, I don't know how to describe it. I'm like this. Sometimes I bend my head down in utter exploration because, and I don't really talk about my family issues because my mother said don't talk about that shit because it's personal. But, sometimes things come up in our real lives and we're like, no, I'm going to say something because I don't think that's fair. That I always have to be quiet. I always have to be the good one. I always have to be just, and things come up and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what it's like. And look, this is the Prisma. Thank you, Michelle. My brother's one of these people. My brother makes me feel certain things. But when I was young and things went missing on me, I would go just psycho. You know, Kim, I mean Nikki, I know what you mean. Like they just go off on you for no reason. And in my case, my siblings and my cousins, when they came over, would purposely steal things from me. And at one point, my mother thought I was bipolar, and I wasn't bipolar. And I said, I think my cousins and my sibling and my brother are playing a prank on me, and they're taking things from me, and they're moving them from them, and they're putting them someplace else and hiding them. So then, when they find it and say, "Listen, we didn't take it. We just put it was just over here," they did it purposely as a child to screw me. And this is why I have some of the issues that I have when things go missing. And sometimes I'll be like, where's my money? Where's my thing? Where was the money that I put? Where was my pencil here? You know, I don't like those jokes being played on me because they're not funny. And everybody thinks they're funny, and they're not funny jokes to play on someone. It's not funny. And it's just like, and then you look like the crazy one to the family, and your sibling looks like the freaking wonderful one. Well, and then if the people have mental illness, when I was young, I didn't understand a lot of the things that were happening to some of my relatives. And I didn't understand at the time that they had mental illnesses because at the time we weren't diagnosed because we didn't believe, well, I should say my grandmother didn't believe in psychology or medicine or any of that. She goes, it's all an excuse for people to be weak. This is what she believed. This is what my grandmother believed. That psychology is not a real thing. There are people out there who believe that psychology is nothing more than an excuse for people for their bad behavior. That mental illness is not a real thing. This is what my grandmother really believed. So that was what people believed. And I can talk about this today because my mother's not here today, right now. If my mother was here, she would tell me not to talk about this with you guys. So I think this should be purple or blue or maybe even a darker red. I think this should be purple. Really nice purple look. I think so. I think a lot of times because we didn't understand it ourselves growing up. Now I think we become evolved as we grow older, and science has changed too. What do you mean she treated you as a slave? How is your sister treating you as a slave? Like, oh, you must do all this stuff for me. When I first, did your parents always look at her like she was the golden child? Like, oh, this child is special. This one is going to go somewhere, the other one not so much. Oh my God. Your parents must have been like, just tolerate her. She is your family, no matter what. Family always sticks together. For people who have well adjusted families, they don't understand. For people who have well adjusted families, they're like, oh, your family isn't that bad. Oh, everybody fights with their sibling. Everybody argues with their sibling. It's nothing big. People who have dysfunctional families understand it a little bit more than people who have well adjusted families. I'm sorry you went through that, but it's like people say, "Oh, you're just overreacting. Your sibling didn't mean to hurt you. Oh, find it in your heart to forgive your sibling. Your sibling is just being, your sibling has just had a terrible time. They're just going through a horrible time, and they need our support, and they need our love, and so forth. And you're like, you don't want to upset your parents. You don't want to do that. I can only imagine. I mean, my mother didn't always have a great relationship until recently, because, you know, I can say this honest to God now. This is mauve. This is a Holbein. It's like for people who have very loving households, they don't really understand. They don't really understand dysfunction or even borderline abusive or even abusive. Abusive homes. We all have things that we suffer through. Some of us more than others. Bye, Kaylee. Thank you. Thank you, Keely. Sorry, sometimes I get very caught up when I'm coloring and then I don't observe the stream, so forgive me for that because I need to be a little better on that. Oh my God. I can only imagine. Now we're gonna do the green leaves, and then we'll do the brown in here. This is green. This is cobalt green. Holbeins work really well in this paper. You know, that's just sad when that. That back in. Just looking for a green. Your mother probably felt that, listen, this is my child needs help, and I must do everything in my power to help my child. You know, that's how your mother probably felt about the whole situation, that I have failed my child. And this is parrot green, and this is the prisma. Your mother probably felt, I must help my child. You know, that's probably how your mother felt, that this is my child and I have to help my child. You know, that's how your mother probably felt. Like, I have failed my child. I must take care of my child. That's good, Alicia. But that's how your mother probably felt about the thing. Sometimes we don't view things the way that we should view them at the time. At the time, we were like, how could you let her just come into this house after everything she's done? It's a matter of sometimes we don't see the other person who's trying to help us side of the issue. Oh no, what happened here? That's okay. We'll cover that up with the. And this is permanent red. And for the longest time, I didn't have this color. I could never find it. It was never in stock when I wanted it at the store. So finally, they had some. You ever notice when you go to the art store and you're looking for a certain color and then they don't have it? They're like roll out. You're like, why? That's good. Whip, watch me day now. Oh my god, the show is funny. She cracks me up. I'm gonna make the jacket red. And we're gonna make these red. We're gonna make these purple or pink. Probably gonna finish up to here and then next time we'll work on the skin. Except always cover loose. Why? And this is permanent red, so this is a different color than that. This is a scarlet red. This is a permanent red. So we have used luminance, whole bodies, tonal irritants, Pablo's. So what is everybody looking forward to getting coloring wise, or if anybody has any, what are they watching TV wise, Netflix? Next time we'll do the skin and we'll finish up the coat. And no, I'm not going to do a background in the back because Dee Dee always does one. But you know who does really good work in this book is Dee Dee Willingham, and Sammy Wilkes does, who's known as Color and Chat with Sammy, does really good work in these books. I mean, the work that they do in this book is just phenomenal. If you're thinking about getting this book, but the price tag frightens you guys, I can tell you. What? That's a weird tongue twister. Oh, that must be very pretty. I can turn out very. Never fails. Christmas always break no matter how you sharpen them. What two color Rosa? Oh, good luck on your surgery, Arnie. I know surgery can be very, very scary. Know that you're going to be in my prayers. Arnie, I mean that genuinely, that you will be in my prayers. And I hope you get through surgery fine. I have to do this here, here. Well, at least they didn't do it all at once. The worst thing is when they decide to do all the major procedures at once, which they're not allowed to do now. They can only do one surgery because too many people are doing too many surgeries in one day. And you really shouldn't do more than one major surgery a day because the body can only take so much. But the one thing I like about the Prismas is that they're really very, very vivid. You can straight color with them too. Some people won't tell you this, but I'll tell you this, guys. Honest to God, the best thing you can do is just have fun and learn how to play with them, because once you learn how to layer and play with them, oh my God, it's so much fun to play with the Prismas once you learn how to layer them. They are such a fun pencil to use once you learn how to layer them. You know, we all need. I didn't think we were going to get this much done. Really, I did not think we were going to get that much. Wow, that's really amazing that they're going to be able to do them right in the office, so you won't have to, go through all that post-op. So we are going to stop the stream here, and we will resume this, guys, next week. So I hope you guys will come back next week. And I hope you all have a great weekend. And really, guys, visit the people who are doing the streamathon, because they are putting in their time. Even though I'm not part of the streamathon, guys, really visit them, because they are my fellow YouTubers, and they do a lot for the community as well. So go in and visit them. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. And we will finish this probably on camera next week, and then we'll figure out what we're going to color next week. Okay, bye, everybody.